Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have some new reveals and some new teases from Bryce Howard herself, what it was like directing maybe an episode or two of the upcoming Star Wars Skeleton Crew Disney Plus show, which is news to us. We have some new reveals on that, as well as some other teases on a possible potential Star Wars film from the talented Bryce Howard herself there as well. We're going to go ahead, we're going to break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from StarWarsNewsNet.com, one of my favorites out there. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Bryce Howard has recently talked about directing Skeleton Crew, and as well having those early talks of her taking on her own Star Wars potential movie. As a read, Bryce Howard has recently spoken some more about what it was like directing an episode of Skeleton Crew, and has also admitted that yes, she would like to direct a Star Wars film of herself one day. So, in a recent interview with Collider.com, she was asked about her experience on the Star Wars Skeleton Crew Disney Plus set. And as I had also mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is complete utter news to me. I had no idea that she had really any involvement with Skeleton Crew, so to see that her talents are being brought over to this project here as well, having directed a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian, if I may say some of the better episodes of The Mandalorian, seeing that talent be brought over here for Skeleton Crew is super exciting. I can't even lie, I think it's one of those things that also kind of just sets the bar even higher now for Skeleton Crew, as if I wasn't already looking forward to it enough. The actor-director herself has revealed that Jon Favreau has involvement on set to a surprising degree, and which might be quite a bigger indicator at just how integrated this story is with the rest of the Mandoverse, its other ties and connections to other Mandoverse shows like the Mandalorian show itself, but not just that, Ahsoka or the Book of Boba Fett as well. And hey, even if they wanted to add another Mandoverse show, I think there's also that possibility as well, but we haven't heard anything along those lines. Anyway, Bryce Howard says all of this here in quote. Yeah, and it was very, very, very exciting because kind of the infrastructure that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have built is allowing for this kind of broadening, and truly Jon Favreau in particular, because he had the relationship with Jon Watts through Spider-Man, because Jon Watts directed all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but he kind of knew how great Jon Watts was from the get-go and really entrusted him with this project. But it was wonderful because Jon Favreau was there pretty much every single day. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect for Jon Favreau to be there every day, not on his own set, technically. Ending that quote right there. I think that the reveal and the confirmation that Jon Favreau has more of an involvement with Skeleton Crew also adds to that degree, also adds to that bar, setting the bar even higher for Skeleton Crew because he has such an involvement with this show. Of course, I think we already all knew that he had co-wrote a majority of Skeleton Crew alongside with Dave Filoni and mostly Jon Watts, though. Jon Watts coming up with the overall initial story itself, though, however, and kind of introducing that to Jon Favreau. But just the fact that Jon Favreau has taken such care, I think is what the word is I'm looking for this project here as well, because it does take place in not just in the galaxy far, far away, but it takes place in the universe of the Mandoverse, if you will, and that's something that's very honed in on with not just Dave Filoni, but also with Jon Favreau more and more, or I think really is something that's more important to Jon Favreau than really anyone else. So I think that this just kind of is more of that solidifying concrete evidence, like Jon Favreau really cares about a galaxy far, far away. Bryce Howard has also mentioned that there were a lot of other practical effects in use on set, and with this overall show, of course, we've known that the use of stop motion from the expert Phil Trippett, who is responsible for lots of the beloved stop motion effects in the original Star Wars trilogy, was brought in to assist as well. She has some new tidbits about that there as well, saying that there in quote. So there is this cohesiveness to the story with Ahsoka, with Skeleton Crew, with Mandalorian and Boba Fett. that is quite wonderful. And because of that, it's not the wheel every single time. And so that they're able to have these moments where, Jon Favreau has been bringing in Phil Tippett, and since the absolute beginning. He helped design the Purge in my episode of Boba Fett. And so just getting to do that more and more and more has been really quite remarkable. Ending that quote right there. I find this very important and very fascinating that Bryce Dallas Howard mentions this and is able to put two and two together, I think is kind of the word I'm looking for. Like, from an outsider point of view, from an insider, she's technically an insider, she understands that they don't want all these different shows to kind of have that formula kind of feel to them, that 6-8 episodes kind of serious thrown up on Disney Plus, that same kind of format essentially. And she mentions it very perfectly with, we don't want to just be retelling the story of the wheel or reinventing the wheel essentially with each of these different projects and each of these different shows. We want to bring something new to the table with each and every one of them. And if it's the use of different effects, practical effects, stop motion in this case, I think it's all the more. And so, lastly, Collider also had asked Bryce Dallas Howard whether or not she'd be interested in directing her very own Star Wars movie, and of course she said the obvious yes. She especially explained that while she'd love to direct a film one day of a galaxy far, far away, she's having quite a lot of fun coming into these Disney Plus projects and shows and executing someone else's vision, rather than developing her own. However, she then also had said that she would absolutely love to direct her own movie or her own Disney Plus series as a whole. As she says all of this here in quotes. Well, I wish. So what I'll say is that I'm doing an episode of Skeleton Crew, which I'm super excited about. I went to college with John Watson, his writing partner in this, Chris Ford, and so that was quite a very exciting thing in getting to just do that. And I love, again, for the children and the audience, I'll be quite mindful. I sometimes characterize myself in a professional sense as a dominant submissive, but that means is that I'm very happy to go and play in someone else's sandbox, essentially, and be part of a team, and to kind of be a vessel for someone else's vision and trying to kind of execute their vision with great enthusiasm, as if it was my very own. And then I also really love to work with a team and be kind of a team captain as well. I enjoy that, and I have a strength in that area, I think. I love filmmaking, I love directing, and so I would absolutely love to direct a Star Wars movie. I would absolutely love to have a Star Wars show of my own. Ending that quote right there. Bryce Dallas Howard has a pretty good track record with her Star Wars directing thus far. Her episode on The Mandalorian Season 3 most recently was panned by many, but it was very much well made, even in the story of an overall whole for Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Might have been lacking here and there, but even then, she had one of those stronger episodes. Not just that, but she's directed episodes of Boba Fett, other previous past seasons of The Mandalorian as well. It's also just great to see her return to a galaxy far, far away. She's also dibbled her toes within Star Wars animation with Tales of the Jedi, even though that was more of acting rather than directing. It's just great to see her have that involvement with this franchise and have such a love and passion for it. It's also quite great to get some more details on Skeleton Crew as well, a series in which we know frustratingly little about, considering it's coming out a little bit later this year, sometime closer towards November or even December. Even then, I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. What do you guys think about Skeleton Crew thus far? What do you guys want to see with Skeleton Crew? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.